and it's not that noticeable on your head, right?
Don't do that.
Today I'm putting this ridiculous thing on my head at the mercy of the internet, all in the name of allergy science. P.S. My wife's not happy about this. So we've all been there, right? We're outside, we're mowing, we're trimming, and if you have land like I do, it's for hours. And when you come in, you're caked in dust, you're crying, you got snot going everywhere, and it takes you like 3 days to recover. And when you're at that point, it doesn't really matter how you look. You would do anything to alleviate yourself from that allergy burden. Problems to solve. Problem number 1, let's not have massive allergies while we're mowing and trimming. Problem number 2, let's not make ourselves ridiculously hot trying to have masks and goggles and all the things that make us sweat our ass off in 100-degree heat while we're mowing. Number 3, if you're mowing for 7 hours, you don't want something that's heavy weight that's gonna make you fatigued at the end of the day. This is part 1 of this journey. I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm gonna see if I can 3D print my way to the solution. So as I was thinking to myself, I thought, how can I have protection on my eyes, nose, and mouth and be cool with fresh air? So I started thinking, what about if I had some kind of ducted air that would blow into a mask and keep my face dry and cool as I'm mowing? So I went searching on the interwebs and I found this. This is called a waist fan. And I don't know if this is the brand or not, but I thought this had the most English words on it. I'll try this one. This has its own battery. You can charge it. I'm not sponsored by this thing, but it's the one I chose, so it's what we're going with. So this guy has its own internal battery. It's got a little turbo fan in there, turbine fan. Probably not much more than what you get into your PC for cooling, but this was like a $20 to $30 option to get us started. It's not that heavy, and it kind of has some stuff that helps us to grab onto things. So this is a good starting point. But I'll show you how this thing's supposed to work. 4 levels of speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. You clip it on your belt, tuck your shirt in, and then it's supposed to cool you off. It does an okay job. You're supposed to be able to clip it onto your shirt, keep yourself cool. This is kind of annoying, blowing up into your face. It's kind of loud. I don't know, but we'll go with it. Let's see how it works. The second thing we needed was a mask or a shield to help flow the air over our face. So at the house, I had this face shield, and it's what I use for grinding metal. So it's here, I have it. Let's see what I can do with that. So the nice thing about this face shield is it has this handy strap on top. So what does this have? A clip. So we have a clip, we have a strap. So there we go, we have a fan, we have a way to hold it, we have a face shield. Maybe this will work. So I need a way to get this air to go into here. So I 3D printed something up. This nozzle adapter. Not too bad for a first start. I made this where it'll slide over this. Then it can shoot air into the helmet. So, not too bad, right? Might work good with this or a welding helmet in the shop, but then I got to thinking, if I'm using this outside, I don't want all the dirty air getting blown into here. So I thought to myself, I need a filter. This is like a second or third iteration of this filter. I had to get it the right thickness, right amount of holes. So printed up a filter. It slips on the back. So I ordered a bunch of disposable booty socks and they fit over perfectly. This has enough surface area to not hinder any of the flow, and it does a good job of catching large particles and most of the dust. So I'm thinking we're on the right path. Then after wearing this for like 10 minutes, I start to realize this thing's getting kind of heavy. It's a lot of weight on the front of my head, and if I'm gonna be on my tractor mowing, then my neck is gonna start to get pretty sore. So the next problem is when you get out into the wind, there's too much open area, and just a regular wind coming by, it forces its way in through the side, and it doesn't have enough pressure to force it out. So then we're still getting the dust and the grass in our face. So all right, now we're back to the drawing board. We need less weight, we need more tight fit on our face. So I go looking on the internet again. So then I come across these masks here. Pretty nice. They got tinted shielding, about $10. It had a little thing here. I cut it out because it was too close to my face. And then reviews online have said that these don't work great with glasses. Well, I think I had a solution for this. But now this fits tight to your face, but how do I get the air into it if it fits so tight? So see, it files on my glasses here, but it gets this thing gets super hot, super fast, so we need to get some air in here quick. So I'm pretty sure that I want to go from the top with my airflow, that way it's going past my face and not shoving air up my nose. Okay, so I printed this up. This is TPU, it's soft, so it won't hurt your head. I designed in these strengthening ribs so that you can't crush it. So now this will slip right in here. And now we have two purposes. Now air can get in here and I can fit my glasses with this mask. So fits pretty good, nice and squishy. Air can get in through here. So now the tricky part comes in. How am I gonna put this on my head? Do I want a hat? Do I want shade? And this is where things got a little too ridiculous, but in the name of the science, I'll show you what happened. Ta-da! A helmet. Well, the problem with hard helmets is people's heads are weird. They're all different sizes, all different shapes, and my 3D printer can only go 10 inches wide by 10 inches wide. So I'm really limited, and this is what I come up with. So I wanted to make a way to mount this on here. I created a square pad with some pucks so that I could adapt this in here. But shortly after trying to work this out, I decided against all of this. But I'll show you just for fun. I created an extrusion to go from this shape to this shape. This would adapt into the helmet. This piece can slide into here. I created an extension adapter. Down to our soft piece. So this is starting to look a lot like a movie from the 90s. Ninja Turtles 3, I think that they went and they were samurais. I don't know, but let's put it on, why not? Ah, nice and refreshing. And it's not that noticeable on your head, right? As I've stated before, I've kind of crossed this out, but we did learn some things. My face was extremely cool. I felt very comfortable. This delivery system worked really nice. This worked really nice. So we're on to something. But I don't like how heavy it is. It's not comfortable. It pinches the back of my head. And to make this fit multiple people, it's probably not gonna work. But now this can make an excellent Halloween candy bowl at my desk. All right, so we're back to the drawing board. Once again, we need this to be more flexible to fit more people's heads. I got to thinking about it once again. When you're mowing, what are some things that maybe you should have? Maybe you should have hearing protection. So I went online and I ordered these. Pro here. I'm not sponsored, but I'll go ahead and put links to this in the description. There'll be links to Walmart. It does give me a little help if you buy from there, but if not, no big deal. So now I have a new platform that has some rigidity here and enough of flexibility to adapt to a person's head shape. Now I have some hearing protection from the tractor, from the lawnmower, from the trimmer, and I kind of went ahead and spoiled myself and added a little Bluetooth in here for the enjoyment. Now let's put this back together and see what I got. Since I no longer have this as an adapter, I printed a new adapter, but now how do I make it clamp to this? So this is where I currently am at and what revision I am in this project. It's not fully there, but this is where you can give me some comments and give me some help to help lead me in the right direction on where I go on the next build. Today, I think that we're here enough to get some testing done. So I 3D printed a new filter with a new sock. I printed these legs on it underneath the headband. It kind of got melted in the truck. Excellent. I made them as thin as I could and kept them kind of strong so they could hold everything together. I'm not exactly happy with this, but this is the version we're at. The fan assembly goes like that. Duct assembly right on top. New adapter, just like so. Here we are, back together again. There's some adjustability for some head size differences. Snap it all together. Now, this is what we got. Now, the weight's pretty good on this. All the weight is distributed evenly on the top of the head, so there's not a bunch on the front, not a bunch on the side or back. The headphones are a little heavier than I would like, but not too bad. And like I said, now I get the benefit of having music. Now there's a little bit of trickiness of getting this on with the headband first, putting these over your ears. So it's getting kind of complicated to put on. There we go. What do you think? We got really great airflow that comes out of here. Obviously I can't hear anything because I have the earmuffs on, so I'm probably yelling way too loud. I'm ready to give this thing a spin on the tractor, see how it does, and see if I come back without any allergies. That's the point of this, right? Wish me luck. Let's see what the neighbors think. And it's not that recognizable on your head, right? about 2 hours, a little more than an acre of land. It's about 93 degrees outside. It's about 20-mile-an-hour wind. So lessons learned. I felt really cool on this. Did not get a sweaty face at all. Wearing earmuffs, I usually don't do that, so that's a little warmer than I'm used to, but it was a bonus to have some music. I think the biggest takeaway is the wind has so much pressure from all around that it really disrupts the little fan. I think there's enough airflow, but I think the little fan motor doesn't have enough torque to it to push positive pressure out and make sure it flows the way it's supposed to. So I'm definitely going to be looking for a better fan system. So I think we're headed in two different directions. So this is a really good system for being mobile and not having any strings attached. If you're doing a trimmer or a push mower and the winds aren't quite as high, like this is going to be a really good system. I really don't like how high it sits up off the head. So I'd like to try to figure out how to lower profile the situation. The second thing is, since I'm on a tractor with a roll cage, or maybe even if you're in an off-road machine with a roll cage, it might be easier to just have a fan system installed into the vehicle through the 12-volt system, so you can put a heavy-duty fan, more pressure, and then just run it through a lightweight tube. There may be some connectivity issues of getting on and off a tractor. I know I always have to move like a trampoline and move some stuff, so I was really hoping to just capture a contained unit that you don't need anything external, but I'm gonna think about it, and probably we're gonna move forward with both options, making it more slim and streamlined for the face, but then also having a vehicle fan duct system. As far as using this as a filter, it's definitely an improvement. I don't have a super muddy looking face, but there is small grit. And when you run through a patch of weeds or some dust, you can smell it. So your sinuses do get going a little bit, but not bad, not bad at all. It's probably an 80% improvement as far as the allergies. Now, oddly enough, I just went back out and tried this with the trimmer. This being a whole together unit makes this a lot easier to put on and off. Additionally, my overall temperature is a little lower because I don't have the hot earmuffs on. Now, a question that this begs to differ is, if I had enough airflow, could I just create a windscreen over my face? Like going into the Walmart where the carts are, that air screen that keeps the temperature locked in. Anyway, let me know which way you think that I should go in the comments. What would you do? What did you see wrong with this? Any thoughts, ideas? Put them in the comments. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, and we'll be putting out more of this type of video, more stuff with 3D prints. And if you look in the description, I'm gonna leave a link to a Patreon. So if you want to print any of the files that I have on my channel, and I might put some blueprints to my trailer up and stuff like that, I'm gonna make it super low, like $1 a month type subscription. If you think that's fair, let me know in the comments. If not, what do you think I should do? Whatever support you can get, just liking and subscribing and commenting helps a ton. Look for those links in the description, and we'll see you on the next video.